Hello guys, welcome back. So, we're gonna probably be doing some more spring cleaning. Somebody mentioned something recently and they were clowning around on the channel already, so they're gone, but they made a crack about Dionysus, and those of you who've been with the channel for a while might find it awfully suspicious I haven't mentioned him in a while or any of the Greek gods. He permanently dropped his favor. And I mean permanently. I don't mean this is one of Dionysus's many moods. I mean he dropped his favor. And you know how I get and how emotional I am. I have not been taking this shit well. I will tell you that right now. And the one that's actually helping me through it is Asmodeus, and he's not known for being good with emotions, but he's the one forcing me to face my emotions and facing, the old man did as much damage as possible as he could on the way out, and I didn't realize it until the dust had settled. And those statues for Dionysus were expensive as fuck too, and I said I just can't look at them anymore. And we've tried using them for Asmodeus or something because they are damn expensive statues. It's amazing how much money I would throw at Dionysus. I mean, I have flowers here and grapes here, and I did not have the money at the time, and I have these statues that I bought, and they were more expensive statues, and I, absolutely did everything I could, and I fairly threw money at him, but that's my fault, not his. There's something about him. And, I kind of, as the dust was settling and I was at my friend's place, remember she had dropped that off and, the rift and everything. I got flowers and I got more flowers, and I was like, oh, if he ever comes back, it'll be so nice. And I kind of wondered where Dionysus was, but, he wasn't coming back. He wasn't coming back. And Asmodeus is, I think, half detective, and he's the one that said, you remember how I was going crazy thinking I had Greek gods, and then no, I can't possibly, the Norse gods were cosplaying? The old man's a fucking liar, and he can play the other gods like a violin, so, I had Greek gods. And Asmodeus has just been patting me and staying really close and watching over me because remember, once he decides a human is his, that is his human. And he knows it's unfair, and he knows it hurts, and he knows that having an entire pantheon just dump you by the roadside because you got batted around by a monster and couldn't fight back is not exactly the best feeling in the world. And I said, but I was the one getting batted around. And he goes, yeah, I know, but gods. And he doesn't think it's fair, but remember, if you look at the idea of demons as in the Christian sense, whether you're comfortable with that or not, imagine speaking up for yourself and getting thrown out of heaven forever. So, he has sympathy. And the other demons have been having sympathy and coming around giving me little pats. And they want to make it better. And they understand that 2020 for me, I've just been having record losses with the gods. Losing the old man was the best thing that ever happened to me, but losing the entire Greek pantheon, that was harsh. And it feels like I lose more and more, and Inari's here, and then they blip out, and then the Loa were here, and then they blipped out. So I'm down to Loki and Asmodeus, and Imammon. But it's kind of hard, and they know I'm not adjusting well. Segan's always here, and Fember's loyal, but some of the others, I'm just keeping an emotional distance because I don't know, man. But yeah, it's like the next one I talk to is gonna leave. I'm not talking to anybody. So, it's been, I think, a rough year for us all. And I think maybe this is just, I'm paying the karma. But, again, I'm acknowledging how mean and abusive the old man was. And when you're in a relationship with that, the abuser usually is charismatic. They definitely make sure they disarm you so that you're powerless. They'll give you an illusion of power. You'll think you're the one, in power, but you're not. And I said, if they're going to abandon me when I needed them the most, then that's okay. I will favor and love the gods more that have always been there to pick me up. And Asmodeus is more than happy to pick me up, and Loki is too. So we're gonna be okay. I have no idea what to do with those statues. They were so fucking expensive. Loki inherited the roses and grapes, at least. And if we lived in a magical realm where money grew on trees, I would just throw it all away and, go buy new stuff for the altars, but I can't afford to right now, so I don't know, guys. So I'll be okay. If you ever get Greek gods, treat them better than I do. Don't, especially I will recommend right now, don't work with the old man and Greek gods. There's some kind of bad blood there, especially between him and Apollo, and it's all one-sided. Apollo couldn't give two shits what, you know, Odin thinks of him, nor could any of the other Greek gods. But I think the only one that I stayed in favor with was Hephaestus, because I think Hephaestus took pity on me because I was getting batted around pretty good, and given his lore, he had sympathy. But maybe Aphrodite too. I think Athena just basically has like this lukewarm idea, but I get the idea, don't go home because you're not welcome. You're being mildly tolerated, but you can't go home again. Walden was right, or was it Thoreau? It was one of those guys. And it's kind of sad. And I said, I feel like I've gotten 30 years of street smarts in a couple months, but 2020 is a hell of a year. I'll be okay, guys. I will be sad for a while, and I wouldn't want Dionysus to come back. So Loki's little fox ears are hearing. It's not going to be the same. It's one of those things that Asmodeus absolutely will not let me sit around, play sad music, and cry and feel sorry for myself. He's like, we're going to be productive. You're not going to sit here and cry and feel sorry for yourself. That's maudlin and disgusting. Let's go do something productive. But he's being warm and supportive, and he's being rather indulgent as much as he can. And he said, it's okay to cry some, when you lose a god, especially one you love, and declared that you were their priestess, and then they drop their favor. But eventually you have to pick yourself up off the floor, dust yourself off, and it's a hard knock life sometimes. Life's a punk like that, So I hope you guys are doing well. We'll be okay. It was kind of like a very loosely given follow up to the original video of what happens when things go spectacularly wrong. There's fallout, and sometimes it's pretty far reaching, and sometimes you don't realize until like weeks or months after the fallout what the true damage is, and you just have to live with it. So we're okay. I swear we're okay. But if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry if it sounded spacey. I'm really bad at dealing with my emotions. I know I seem highly emotional on camera, but I'm really bad at dealing with my emotions. I'm a Gemini. We don't like our emotions. They hurt. And so, I will tend to try to run away from them by listening to sad music and getting overindulgent, or by going to extremes with something and just trying to blot out any emotions, and Asmodeus is having none of either. So I think we're going to make a kind of late-ish supper, and we're going to have the last of the beef noodles, I think. And we'll be okay. And again, guys, please do not send, thoughts and prayers to the Greek gods. It wouldn't be the same. I really wouldn't feel comfortable, and I do have a high sense of honor, believe it or not. So I wouldn't feel like going back home. I'm going to be okay. I probably should get rid of the old man's camp, but this was fucking expensive. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.